Hi, I'm Andrew Fazakis, the Night Sky Guy, here to give you the tips for the best sky events of 2021. 2020 was filled with amazing, memorable skywatching events, including an unexpected appearance of a bright comet Neowise, some of the best views of Mars in a decade, and of course, the historic encounter between Jupiter and Saturn at end of December. But in 2021, there are many other amazing astronomical sights that you should mark on your calendar. So here we go. First up is a historic encounter between Venus and Jupiter. Early risers get a chance to see a close encounter between two of the brightest planets in our skies on February 11th, Venus and Jupiter. Both of these planets will appear as brilliant dots to the naked eye, but will be so close they will even be visible as the same time through any backyard telescopes. As an added bonus, hanging to their upper right will be Saturn. However, be prepared to scout out a good observing spot with a totally unobstructed line of sight towards the southeast horizon, as this celestial wonder will be occurring in close proximity to our Sun, making this sighting all about timing. The trick is to allow the planets to rise high enough in your morning sky to easily observe them, but before the light of the brightening dawn drowns out your views. So the best time to start your hunt will be about 20 to 30 minutes before your local sunrise. Use binoculars to sweep the skyline in the area where the sun comes up, and look for the planetary pair about 5 to 7 degrees above your horizon, equal to the height of your fist held at arm's length. Can you glimpse the conjunction with the naked eye just before sunrise? Observers in southerly latitudes will be best placed for this conjunction. Get ready for an amazing quadruple formation on March 9th and 10th. A most impressive cosmic huddle greets skywatchers around the world as 4 neighboring worlds appear to cluster in the southeast morning sky. Mercury, Jupiter, and Saturn will all appear near perfect alignment, while adding to the eye-catching formation will be a beautiful crescent moon. Each planet will appear as a brilliant dot, with Mercury being the faintest and Jupiter the brightest, all easily visible to the naked eye. Check out Jupiter with your binoculars, and remember, make sure you hold the binocular steady and watch for its 4 largest moons lined up on either side of the gas giant. Train a small telescope on Saturn and reveal its majestic rings and brightest moons like Titan and Enceladus. Meanwhile, sweep over to Mercury, and under high magnification, its disk appears like a miniature quarter moon. Get ready for a super flower blood moon on May 26. Everyone with clear skies across western United States, western South America, Australia, and Southeast Asia will be lucky enough to witness the moon blush red as it undergoes a total lunar eclipse. This dramatic astronomical event happens only during a full moon, and only when the sun, Earth, and moon are precisely aligned so that our planet's shadow completely blankets the moon's disk. This usually happens only twice a year and can be seen from only one hemisphere of the Earth. During the total part of the eclipse show, sunlight shining through the ring of Earth's dusty atmosphere is bent or refracted towards the red part of the spectrum and cast onto the moon's surface. As a result, expect to see the lunar disk go from a dark gray color during the partial phase of the eclipse to a reddish-orange color during totality. The moon's color during totality can vary considerably depending on the amount of dust in the Earth's atmosphere at the time of the eclipse. But not only will Earth's closest neighbor be eclipsed, the timing coincides when the moon is at its closest point to the Earth. This means that keen-eyed observers may notice that the lunar disk will also be bigger and brighter than the average full moon, making it a super blood moon. And further adding to the special moniker of this event, the full moon in May is known traditionally across the northern hemisphere as the flower moon, since this is the time when plants begin to blossom after a long winter. Now, the partial phase of the eclipse begins at 9:44 UTC, when the first hint of Earth's shadow hits the moon. The total eclipse, when the moon appears to turn orange or red, begins at 11:11 Universal Time and ends at 11:25 Universal Time. Get ready for a Ring of Fire eclipse on June 10th. 2 weeks after the lunar eclipse, another spectacular natural phenomena graces our skies. This time, lucky people along a narrow path in the far northern parts of the northern hemisphere will get to see a Ring of Fire eclipse of the sun just as it rises in the east in the early morning. Also known as an annular solar eclipse, this stunning event occurs when the moon's disk is too small to cover the entire sun, and it leaves a ring of sunshine around the dark lunar silhouette. On either side of this pathway, weather permitting, a much larger region of the world will be able to witness a partial solar eclipse. While it may be difficult for most of us to make it into the Ring of Fire's remote path, millions will be well placed to witness an impressive partial eclipse. Large parts of Asia, Europe, and North America will see at least part of the sun blocked by the moon to varying degrees. For instance, at maximum eclipse, Toronto, Canada will see 87% of the sun blocked, while New York City will see nearly 80% blocked. Meanwhile, Washington, D.C. will see 65% and London, England, 31% of the sun blocked by the moon. The full eclipse path starts at 9:49 Universal Time over northern Canada soon after local sunrise, crossing Greenland and ending in Russia at 11:33 Universal Time. Remember, never look at the sun directly without proper eye protection like solar filtered glasses. Get ready for another conjunction, but this time between Venus and Mars on July 12th. Over many weeks now, you may have noticed Mars and Venus inching closer together in our southwestern skies, and tonight they'll reach their closest together. This conjunction between our two closest neighboring worlds has been in the making for months, and after sunset, they'll appear close enough to actually look like they're touching. The pair is going to be very easy to spot soon after local sunrise, and will be joined by a crescent moon, making it an eye-catching photo opportunity with the foreground landscape. Harkening back to the great conjunction between Jupiter and Saturn last December, both Mars and Venus will also be visible through a backyard telescope at the same time. Venus will be easiest to spot as an unmistakably bright white star-like object. Meanwhile, the god of war, Mars, shines about 250 times fainter, so you may not notice it at first because of the bright glare of the nearby goddess of love, Venus. However, the two should be easy to see with the unaided eye, separated by only 30 arc minutes, equal to the diameter of the full moon's disk in the sky. Get ready to count a lot of shooting stars because the Perseid meteor shower will be peaking on August 12th and 13th. Considered one of the most intense annual meteor showers, the Perseids regularly produce up to 60 shooting stars per hour at its peak. Every mid-August, Earth slams into a cloud of sand grain-sized particles shed by a passing comet, which produces a flurry of shooting stars appearing in the skies above as each meteor burns up in the upper atmosphere. And this year promises to be particularly good in terms of performance, since its peak on the night of August 12th into the pre-dawn hours of August 13th will coincide with mostly a dark, moonless sky. That's because the thin waxing crescent moon will actually set during the early evening, ushering in excellent viewing conditions that coincide with the shower's peak overnight hours, right across the entire northern hemisphere. To get the best views of this celestial fireworks, there's no need for binoculars or telescope, just the unaided eyes. Try to find a viewing spot with as little light pollution as possible. The darker the better. But even from a suburban backyard or municipal park, where there's no direct lights, at least 10 to 30 shooting stars per hour should be visible under clear skies. August 18th marks another conjunction, this time between Mars and Mercury. You don't want to miss this super tight close encounter between the innermost planet of the solar system, little Mercury, and the fourth planet from the Sun, ruddy Mars, during the sunset skies. This dramatic conjunction on August 18th will be a bit tricky to catch because of its close proximity to the setting sun, so a clear line of sight will be needed towards the western horizon. Mercury will appear brighter than Mars since it's on the opposite side of the Sun from Earth, and if you get the conjunction through a telescope, these two planets will be squeezed together so closely that they can both be viewed in your telescope at high magnification. Get ready to see the Dragon spit some shooting stars when the Draconid meteor shower peaks on October 7th. Look towards the high northwest skies starting around nightfall tonight and then again on October 8th for the minor Draconid meteor shower. A near new moon will leave perfect dark skies to see around 10 to 15 shooting stars per hour. Like most other meteor showers, the Draconids are named after the constellation from which they appear to radiate out from. In this case, Draco the Dragon. At the shower's peak, Draco will be near overhead around local midnight throughout the northern hemisphere. Draconids are best viewed from when darkness falls till midnight when its radiant is at its highest in your local skies. The Dragon's shooting stars are fairly easy to catch for beginner skywatchers since they're considered some of the slowest moving of any shower. The flurry of meteors actually comes from a stream of sand grain-sized particles spread along the orbit of its parent comet. When Earth slams into this debris stream, the comet particles disintegrate in our upper atmosphere, creating streaks of light. Get ready for a partial lunar eclipse on November 19th. The last lunar eclipse of the year will be a partial one that will greet skywatchers across the night side of the Earth, including all of North America and South America, Australia, and parts of Europe and Asia. While this lunar hide-and-seek event officially is a partial eclipse, the full moon will, however, dip up to 95% within the Earth's dark umbral shadow cone, so that during the maximum phase of the eclipse, it should briefly appear as a total eclipse. For moon gazers, this means that the lunar disk may show hints of orange or red, just like what we see during a total lunar eclipse, otherwise known as a blood moon. The first hints of gray darkening the edge of the lunar disk will occur at 7:18 Universal Time and will slowly envelop most of the moon's visible surface by 9:02 Universal Time at maximum eclipse. The final amazing sky event of 2021 will be a solar eclipse on December 4th. Intrepid travelers looking for that ultimate exotic adventure get to see a total solar eclipse unfold across the Antarctic continent, an event that happens only every 18 years or so. Meanwhile, a partial eclipse of the sun glides across southernmost parts of Chile and Argentina in South America, South Africa, Namibia, Australia, and even Tasmania will get to see some of the eclipse. Sun worshippers using safe solar filter glasses in these regions will get to see a bite taken out of the solar disk. Expectations are, however, that cruise ships and airlines will depart from some of these locations and head straight into the path of totality, where the entire disk of the sun gets covered, dramatically darkening the surrounding environment for a precious few minutes. Eclipse chasers' dream photo opportunity will be to frame the eclipsed sun near the horizon with icebergs and icy tundra in the foreground, expected in the early morning hours. Now that's a terrific way to end the year 2021 with amazing astronomical events. Thanks so much for joining me for this top 10 cosmic countdown list. If you like my videos, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Until next time, clear skies.